Hello, and welcome to another segment of driving and learning, I guess. And, I figured today, let's not get into startup stuff. Let's get into stuff that I think can apply to a lot of us, maybe a little bit more personally. And that is, how do you handle when someone, they just aren't into you? And this can be a boyfriend or girlfriend, or even a friend that you've known for a while and all of a sudden has no interest whatsoever. Something has happened. I think internally, our souls and whatnot are telling us like, oh, I must have done something wrong, and you do a lot of thinking as far as, what could I do differently to make them, I'm sure like maybe they just forgot, or if this happened, then certainly they would come and they would turn themselves around. But really the key distinction is that knowing, first off, time heals all wounds, right? It's it to be true, because there was things that you were probably very sad at in your life when like a cat died or a pet died or someone died or something bad happened, and you were really upset at the moment, and now you don't really give a shit, right? Time heals all wounds, but that doesn't help you right now. Right now, you're at this situation where you don't understand what the fuck is going on. Why, I was friends with this person, now they want to have nothing to do with me. Or, I thought we were getting off really, really well together, me and this girl, and now zero interest in talking to me, doesn't respond to me, is like blowing off, and I find out that they're like, they're doing weird stuff, like when I'm, basically hereby, they don't want to see me anymore. How do you deal with that? And the simple answer is it's not your fault at the end of the day. I know that sounds like very Goodwill Hunting to say, but you have to genuinely look at it in that sense, is that it's not your fault. This is something that the other person is doing wrong. It is their loss. And as hard as it is to, in your mind, think about different situations of like, okay, like what about if I called them and said like, hey, it's a little fucked up, you're making me feel bad. No, fuck that. You should not be doing that. What you should be doing, okay, is you should be thinking about yourself and why are they doing this to you in the first place? And if they're doing this to you in the first place, what type of friend or a girlfriend or a boyfriend or whatever are they? And the question, and that really answers a lot of the things for you, right? If they gave a shit about you, okay, if they genuinely were your friend, or if they were your, whatever, they cared about the relationship with you, they would do something about this. They would call you. They'd be like, hey, what's going? But things change. People change as a result. And you can't blame yourself for these situations. Sometimes this stuff happens and it's literally no fault of your own that this situation did happen. It can just be that, for whatever reason, the other person has moved on. They have newer and better friends. Or it could be something that you'll never know, that you can't fix. Like they found out that in junior high you did blackface, or I don't know, that's a very extreme example, but still, it doesn't matter. They're the ones who are being the assholes to you, not the other way around. And as much as it hurts and as much as you want to run these situations in your head of thinking about like, oh man, what can I do? You don't, okay? And I know that's easier said than done. I've been in this situation before. I've thought about these things before. And at the end of the day, people who do this to you are not your friends, okay? I would say also, I think it's important to realize that sometimes we get very cozy and have friendships with people that we think are our friends, but really they're work associates. And sometimes when that work relationship ends, okay, you're thinking like, oh, I'm still gonna go hang out with this guy even though I moved to a new job, and it doesn't happen that way. And that's something to be cognizant about. Sometimes people have a different view of it than yours. But the main thing to take away from this entire situation is that people can be mean, people can be assholes, but you should almost be thanking them for this opportunity for you to know early on that they're a bad person, that they didn't value the relationship with you. If they gave a shit, they would reach out. They're not so naive. They know they're not talking to you. They know they're not responding to your text messages. They know this. You're not dealing with someone that's a houseplant. Okay, they know what they're doing. This is not this is not by mistake or like, oh my God, I had you on D&D the whole time. What's up, dude? I've been hoping to hang out. It's not that case. They don't want to hang out with you. Know that. This isn't an accident. It's not something you can convince them of. They've moved on, and you need to move on. And it sucks because you think of the good times. You think of all of the time that you guys have shared together, and it could be a long time or it could be a short period of time. But you think about it, and you're like, what the fuck? I can't believe that she's throwing this away. Like, for what? For nothing. You know, it reminds me of the Scooter meme.
It's all about me. Because guess what? That's what's going to happen. He's not going to let me be your friend. He's not going to let us do stuff together. And there's no way it's going to be able to work. And you're going to have to come to a point where you're going to choose him or me, and you're going to choose him. You will. Because that's what everyone does. That's what always happens. It's never me. I'm never good enough.
He's not going to let us be friends. He's not going to let you talk to me. That's what, that's it. You need to move on, okay? And there's no, it's ripping the Band-Aid off. I say that, but there is nothing you can do. It just fucking sucks. And it's going to fucking suck, I think, for the average person, for about 2 months. I mean, it depends how serious you were into whatever relationship this was. If this was like kind of, you really liked a girl and you dated for like 2 weeks and she stopped contacting you, that's going to be a lot faster to get over that versus if this is someone that you've been in a relationship with for like 5 or 10 years. That hurts and hits a little bit differently when all of a sudden they abandon you, okay? So just the main takeaway is that it's not because you are a bad person, it's because they are a bad person. They've chosen that they don't want you. They've made this choice, and you need to know that. You need to respect that choice. I mean, you don't need to respect it. They're an asshole. They're giving up on you. Their loss, right? All that jazz. But don't think in the shower, how can I possibly mend this relationship? What can I do? They're not thinking that. You know they're not thinking that. They're not thinking about you at all because they've moved on for whatever reason. And that's fine. Okay? Not everyone can be in this situation where it's butterflies and rainbows and everything for the entirety of your experience. Relationships typically come and go. Okay? I think it's actually pretty rare that you're going to find that you'll be friends with someone from the time that you're a kid up until you're dying, right? They break off, they wane. You stop calling them, they stop calling you. It's not always nefarious, and sometimes some of those relationships, they only hang on by virtue of it being the memory. Like maybe you just, you call your old buddy that you grew up with in high school once a year and, something like that. Do you really need to get upset if he doesn't call you back, and you only really had that once a year relationship? Not really. He probably just forgot. But if it's always you calling someone and you're the one always instigating everything and they never do, let me give you the business side of this, okay? If you recognize that you're in this type of situation and it's with someone that you work with, okay, or it's with someone that you can gain something with in a future event, know that, okay? So let's say that you're friends with your boss for a long time and you're really good friends and, you've kind of noticed that your boss never calls you. You're always calling him to hang out and it making you feel bad, like he doesn't really give a shit about you. But you still know that your boss is the guy that gives the promotions at the end of the year, then the bonuses, and you usually get a nice one. Then fuck it. Then suck it up. Keep being the guy that's kind of a little bit virtually giving more than you're receiving. But no, instead of abandoning a relationship in that case, just know, like, okay, whatever. He's an asshole. I'm going to keep this up. I'll still be the one who continues to reach out. But, at the end of the day, I know this thing about him. So now how can I use him to my benefit moving forward? He's not like a real friend. He doesn't care about me enough to message me. Now, I do say this, I will caution that there are people that are very ADHD and very unkept, and their mind is just not in one place. But the difference is that you'll know that from day one with those people, right? So if you know, and that's like someone like me. So I'm making this video for all of my friends that I've left behind. Basically, what it means is that if from day one you know that this person acts like this, you can at least not be upset and know that, oh, that's just, Dan's just fucking wild. Dan will just, if you're at a party with Dan, and this is something that I do, I'll just be like, all right, I'm gonna go, see you guys, like, and it'll be like 11. And it's, maybe that's partially Dan being an old man, and partially like, I just, I'd rather be home playing Rust, and I realize that at that moment, and I'll just leave. And I feel like kind of my friends that I've known for a long time, they know this. They're not offended by it. It's just one of those things that makes me me. Also, I'm kind of disorganized for a lot of stuff. So if I forget to call someone one time or second time, and I don't talk to you for a month, and then I message you, and I'm like, why are you irritated with me? What the fuck? Like, that's what I'm saying. And they're like, well, you haven't messaged me in like 3 months. What the fuck? Did I do something wrong? I'll be like, oh, really? I just playing a lot of Rust. What's up with you, dude? Like, but that situation, I feel like you'll know that originally when you first know this person. And if that person is not like that, then don't extend that credibility. But if you are dealing with someone who's kind of ADHD brained like me, then sure, keep up the pressure a little bit and just know that it's not that that person doesn't like you. It might just be that in that circumstance that they're just mentally defective, like myself. So that's it for today. An important lesson that doesn't have anything to do necessarily with startups, but it hurts. Nobody likes to kind of be, the Woody, I don't want to play with you anymore meme here. But, that is the case. It happens. It hurts. And there is no fix for that situation. It's only time. And then you'll stop thinking about the person more and more. You'll stop caring more and more. Occasionally you'll see photos and things along those lines that remind you of what was. But just like your cat that died 6 years ago, you remember the good times with that cat. But it's not like it really hurts right now when you look at a picture of the cat. You're like, oh yeah, that was Smokey. He got hit by a fucking 18-wheeler. Like that's it. Just time heals all wounds. There you go. Have a wonderful day. I love you all. Bye.